Hey there, everyone. Welcome to this week's Paint Party live stream. So glad that you have joined me. Please give a shout out, say hello in the comments wherever you're watching. Welcoming YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, wherever you are. I'm so glad that you are joining this evening. I hope you had a great week, and it's great to see you again. If this is uh, more than the first time you've been here, if it's your first time, glad to have you on the Paint Party live stream. Hi there, Lola. So glad to see you as always. Thanks for joining me this evening. I hope you had a great week and are having a good weekend. I'm excited to get started this evening. Jump right into what we have planned. Yep, wanted to make sure I have the right camera angle. I feel a little out of sorts today. I don't know what's going on, but glad to have you all. So good to have you on the live stream. All right. What we do on the live stream, most of you that have been here before know that a few months ago I started teaching myself to paint, and so that is what this is about. We hang out for an hour or two usually, and I paint a different painting every week, and I work on that while I visit and chat with y'all, and we have some great conversations. So um, pull up a chair, grab a drink, grab some snacks, grab dinner, whatever, and we will go ahead and get started. Last week we worked a still life from a picture, and I had planned to work on that more this week, but it did not happen. It was really busy. We're kind of mid semester and a lot of things going crazy, and then we had a big snowstorm, as most of you know, here across the center of the United States. So that has all melted and it's back in the 40s, 50s, 60s here in Arkansas, but kind of threw everything off for a week. But hopefully, I plan to continue to work on that project that I did last weekend, finish that up. I post all of my in progress pictures on Instagram, so you can follow me at Stephen E. Rice on Instagram to see kind of the in progress pictures of different paintings that I'm working on. All right, so tonight we are going to get started with a sweet little painting of this sweetheart right here. We are going to be painting her, and should be it's a smaller painting like I have in the past. I do a quick little sketch, um, especially when I'm doing wildlife. I do a quick sketch just so I can get the composition correct. So we'll be working on this sweet little doe this evening. All right, let's jump in. I feel like there's something I'm forgetting. Usually I ramble a lot, which I kind of rambled a lot anyway, but we'll jump in and get started. Okay. Let me get this set up for y'all. I double checked the angle. Last week I got halfway through the live stream until fortunately Lola was paying attention and said, we're not seeing the same thing at the same angle you are. So please, I flipped my camera angle so it should be correct. But if it is not, please let me know. Okay, whoops. There we are. Okay, yeah, I think everything's set. My screen is on the side. This is center right. So I think that is what you all are seeing as well. Perfect. All right, we will get started with y'all right over my shoulder here. Pull the camera down. How was everybody's weekend? I hope it went well. Anything exciting? Oh, I had an exciting, well, sort of exciting occurrence. I was able to get the second dose of the Pfizer vaccine. So I am, they say about 7 to 10 days from that, you have maximum efficiency or effectiveness, I guess, of the virus, of the vaccine. So I am grateful as a teacher to have one more protection against this virus. But hope you all had a good week. All right, let's get started and lay in some color. Ooh, that's really dark. I think I need a little more brown in that. Whoops. I'm just mixing some burnt umber and ultramarine blue here. Large broad strokes to lay in some color. I should say loose broad strokes. All right. This is just a little bit of an underpainting, kind of cover the canvas a bit. All right. It's a quiet night tonight. I think we have not as many people viewing as we usually do, but that is all right. I imagine people will pop in and out throughout the evening. Ooh, good question, Lola. What color is the background going to be today? Honestly, I don't know. What do you all think? What do you think? Any ideas? I'm actually planning not to paint the her body back here. It's the focus is going to be right here at the top of her head. So I think it will be kind of probably makes sense to do more of um, a darker background, but open for thoughts. Hey there, mom and dad. She is a cute one, isn't she? Reminds me or makes me think of some you may have had off your front porch. Or maybe the one we saw this summer with the two does or the two fawns. Was that this summer? I think it was this summer. Or maybe yeah. Yeah, it was. The one with the hurt leg. Guess that was this summer. Hmm. Ooh, a blue for the background. Yeah, that could work. Especially because her fur will be kind of a brown. It could be complementary, couldn't it? Hey there, Bob G. Welcome to the live stream. It was so good to be able to see you this afternoon. Yeah, I wondered, you kind of live up in the hills with all the critters too. Oh wow. So the fawn we saw, the fawns, I imagine the fawns we saw this summer have really grown. They're not shy, are they? They are willing to come right up on the porch and say hello. I guess they kind of know. Maybe around September, October, they'll start getting a little more shy. Of course, in the city, they probably don't have to worry too much about. They probably know they don't have to worry too much about hunters, so they can probably still keep kind of chilling out, coming right up on the porch. Rusty, ooh, a rusty orange background sounds cool. That might work too. Yeah, I'll have to see. There's gonna be, well, I guess because we won't be doing the rust color of her. We won't be doing the rust color of her coat. So yeah, that could work. I just want to make sure it's that I make it dark enough that she she really stands out. We shall see. We will keep playing around with these colors and see what we got. They watch for Dad when he refills the bird feeders. Had to hang them higher. The birds wouldn't get it. Yeah, I was telling Bob that this afternoon that because he has bird feeders out on his deck, and I was telling him that you guys had to hang yours up in the tree because the deer would nudge him. He has raccoons that come up on the ledge and raid his bird feeders, so he has to bring them into the indoors at night, or they'll clean them out. Apparently, so crazy. Animals are just interesting creatures and a lot of fun. See if I can zoom this in for y'all to see. Hey there, Michael. Thanks for joining. So cool to have you stop in. All right, so I'm mixing a little bit more of, you'll notice I've added a little more yellow tones here, and I'm mixing some more brown with that yellow because the yellow is such a translucent color that it doesn't cover darkly. And so, again, these are just some down or some base layers, and it's forcing me kind of, by using a pretty thick brush, it forces me to not put too much detail in too soon, which is a challenge, but is also important, I think. And it makes me really look at the okay. Now, what I want to do is pull in, I think, some white, and we want to pull in some white and I think a little more blue to give us almost a purplish brown color. So I'm mixing that right here. You can see kind of a purple, blue, brown, white, and that's going to be kind of the cream here in the ear. And then we'll refine that as we go. So then this is a little more blue. All right. We'll put some right in there along the eye, top of the eye. Okay, we have some basic values here. Now, I want to go back and start to emphasize some of this. I'm switching to a little bit smaller brush. And we'll see if we can refine some of these values, put our darker tones in, emphasize more. And then we'll just keep refining. That's the goal, is keep refining until we get the right shapes, the right values, the right tones we want. By doing multiple layers like this, and it allows you to well, of course, have multiple colors and tones in, but it also allows you to constantly make adjustments and see what's working, what you like, what you don't like, and then adjust it as you go. And what I'm looking at right now, it's fairly dark because I have a lot of layers, and acrylics lie darker typically anyway when they dry. So, but what I am focused on is not so much. I mean, yes, I'm focused on the color, but I'm also focused on kind of the planes and the shapes. So there's kind of this almost a rectangular diamond shape at the top of her head that leads to kind of a triangle pyramid, inverted pyramid, like a triangle this way and a triangle this way, and then kind of this oval on her nose. And so by looking at the planes of where the different colors and values are, all of a sudden I can start to um, put in some of the volume of the three-dimensional um, illusion, or the illusion of three dimensions, and the volume of her face and head. So that's kind of what is going through my head right now. And All right, ladies and gents, we are going to let that sit for just a minute. And she is going to dry for brief minutes because I am starting to pull paint off of the canvas because it's not drying as fast. It's drying very fast, but not as fast as I'm applying it. Therefore, we're going to see if we can do some work on her eyes. We are going to take a look at her eyes and start to put some of that in. Therefore, let us mix a dark, almost black. Just some ultramarine blue, some burnt umber, maybe a tad of phthalo green. The reason we get a almost black when we mix these three colors, let me show you, the ultramarine blue, the phthalo green, and the brown umber, burnt umber, the reason we get an almost black color is because if you think of your primary colors, RBG, right? The burnt umber is a red tone, and of course the ultramarine blue and the green are blue and green, and so that's why we can get, if we mix them at different shades, we get different shades or intensities of almost black. So we'll start putting an eyeball in here. She'll look a little bit like a ghost or zombie deer for a minute till we really refine that. Can I zoom the... I don't... Let me try, Lola. Let me see what I can do. I don't think I can crop easily. That's a good point, though. Hey, Ethan, thanks for joining. Let me see what I can do, Lola. It won't let me... It lets me move it. You know what? Let me just do this. Let me go... Whoops. Let me see what I can do for you. I am just cropping a copy of this And whoops, that's not what I want. Sorry, y'all. Let me. Think this is it. Okay. Let me hide this one. And put this one in. Is that what you were asking for, Lola? Sorta? Kind of a zoom in on her eyes a little bit. Hopefully that's kind of what you're looking for. Or hopefully that helps. And we can always go back to the other once we are working on this. Okay. Let's see. So okay, and the thing. We will put some shading around the eye just a little bit. And we'll hone that as we go. Because that's going to be vital to get the feeling of okay. Now I'm at the point I always talk about. Gosh, how did 35 minutes go by so quick, y'all? Where I am not enjoying or not liking this at all. But what do we know about when we hit that spot? We don't like it at all. We are right around the corner from, ooh, okay, that looks all right. And always happens, right? So we keep going. We keep on going. All right, all right, all right. Are you looking the one on your left, like this one that's smaller? I think you are correct. One thing, let me hold this closer so you can see. One of the things on this eye, there is kind of an outline I've started putting on around like the eyelid. So that's one part. It at a distance it blends into the eye, so it makes it look larger. But I will be bringing the light tones there that she has those bright kind of tans across the eye that will make this one smaller. And then this one, I'll be doing the same here to emphasize and bring it out. So that should help us with that component of her eyes looking a little wonky right now, cross-eyed. Um, yeah. So that's what's in my head at least. So that's what we'll go for, and you guys can kind of keep me on track if we can do that. Okay. Let me see. Now, Lola, you had said maybe a dark blue or a rust orange for a background. I am trying to decide. Like, I really love her look like she's looking right at us. So I think I want to keep that in the photo or in the painting, but I want kind of the ears and stuff to disappear, um, and this to kind of disappear into the background. But I do want to bring our eyes right up here. So let me try something. Let's see if we can do a little bit of both. Wonder if we can do a dark blue. Ultramarine. If we can do a dark blue. Wonder, 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 wonder. That's what's kind of fun, these experiments, taking the reference photo and figuring out how we want it, how we want to highlight or emphasize. And I'm going to, while I'm here, do the sides. Learn that the hard way. Let's smooth some of this out. redo these edges just so I don't have to really think about them anymore. Now, I wonder if I can bring in Lola, you had said the orange, so looky here. See the blue and the, let's see if we can do something like that, because that would be interesting to me. I don't know if we can bring it in close enough around her face to transition so it looks okay, or if it's going to look weird, but we'll try it. You can always repaint. Especially right up around her eyes. Yes, I'm going over the painting, which is kind of messing it up, but y'all, we will be okay. Bring that down into the ear, kind of hide some of that. Not hide, but this is fun. It's a mess, but it's fun to see, to figure this out, see if we can do it. Make it work, right? Somehow merging all these disparate colors together to make them somehow work. Okay, so we have a blurry picture now of a deer moving too fast. So now we'll obviously have to go back in and make this, redo some of this. But I think it will be a beautiful, look at how already, look at how these dark blues with the lighter around her face really make those browns and reddish tones pop up. And the funny thing is, this browns are just the same browns that are used in her head and her face, but they are added a little white to them. So I've used the same browns, but just adding white to it to desaturate it a little bit. But it's funny how that creates a And then we'll bring the blues back in heavy. Blend that in a little bit. We'll come back to the background and work on that a little bit. It needs to dry some. Now it's just pulling up off the canvas. Thanks so much for that suggestion, Lola, on the background. I really like, I didn't take, of course, a bright orange, but that orange around, kind of around her face, I think really brings us into it, especially if I emphasize the dark on the background. So now we're going to go back to her a little bit. We've let her dry a little bit, and we will work on her. So I am going to take that down and put the original back so we can kind of look at what's going on here. The main thing that I tried to do with the background is make sure that the dark areas along her ear, I wanted a little bit of dark there because the ear has kind of a white fringe to it, so I want the ear to be seen. And then up here, I wanted it a little lighter so that the edge of the ear, which is darker, will stand out. At least that's what I'm thinking right now, because I don't want it so dark that all you see is like a triangle of her face and the ears are just, it's like what happened to her ears, they were just chopped off. Although we could do that and put a shadow kind of like we did with the lion where there's shadow all around. But I think we did, like I did that with the lion because that beast is obviously kind of a mysterious anyway. And kind of that lion picture is, you aren't sure exactly what he's thinking. Is he thinking, I want to eat you? Or is he thinking, scratch my chin, please? That's what I wanted for that. This painting, to me, it's just curious. She's just curious. She's just looking at us, right? So that's what I want to create. That's what I want to create for the viewer, is that just her curiosity. If that makes sense. Okay, so we are going to start putting some more putting the detail back in a little bit. I actually just made I think I made a different decision. So right now, notice that the highlights or it's coming down both sides of her face. I think I'm gonna take this down a little bit. Still the same kind of tone so that it almost looks like the light is coming in from this side. Let's see if we can adjust the the painting that way so we can turn, even though our reference photo is different, we can turn it around and make it be what we want it to be. I don't know if this will work, but we'll try it. Let's see. All right, we have a little under an hour to make this thing come together a little bit. So let's work together to see what we can do. See if we can turn the corner on this one. Okay, y'all. I think it's that time, or beyond that time. You know what time that is. It's time to get a refill on your drinks. And I have something great for you all tonight. I have something fun. I have musica. All right. I will be right back. And I am back. So I have to know, did the experiment work? Did it play music on your end? It showed that it was playing, but I did not hear it on my end. So I am curious if someone will jump in the comments and let me know, did you hear some festive sort of Caribbean style music while I was gone, while I was away? Trying to step up my live streaming game. Did it play for y'all? Could you hear the music on your end? I hope so. All right, let's see what we can do to improve this painting, because I am feeling it is stuck between meh and could be great. So let's see what we can do here. This is where I feel like, okay, maybe I don't really know what I'm doing. And everybody is watching. That's okay. At some point, I'll feel like I know what I'm doing, maybe. Sounds like there's some angry dogs outside my window. I don't know if you all can hear them. So I'm experimenting with a new brush. I don't know if y'all can see this. Whoops. There we are. But it's kind of almost like a rake brush. And I'm testing whether I can create the illusion of fur, fine detail fur, with this brush. Not sure. It might work. Not sure. We'll keep playing around with this. Huh. Well, I'm no good at it, but I think there's something here if I keep playing with it. Not sure. I think it could work. Because I'm not exactly sure where to go from here. Nope, I think I messed up. So we are going to see if we can correct that. Look at, so just for education's sake, look at what I did here. See the fold of this ear? I brought it, I don't know if this can zoom in anymore. There we go. So the fold of this ear I brought down and then brought it down in when actually I brought it in over, almost way over the center of the eye. So notice how it looks kind of weird and off-centered. So it actually needs to be backed up to here because the fold of this ear on the reference is on the outside of the eye. And so it should come down more like right in here. So let's see if we can fix that. A little brown. Let's just take that out, put some more brown in there. We'll have to fix the brown, of course, but we'll take that. And we'll take some white. So it's kind of a creamy brown. All right, so we put some more, put this in here. Oops. Now, I think that's where we want to bring it, right in there. So notice how even with deconstructed, a deconstructed ear, it already looks better from the mistake I'd made. So now let's see if we can come back in. Might not be able to do because the paint may be too wet, but actually that might be good because this is not. Looks a little bit better. There. Thank you, Lola. You have more faith than I do at this point, but I'm persistent. If nothing else, I'm persistent. Ugh. It is not necessarily going the way I want, but I'm not exactly sure how to get it back on track. But I am confident that if I'm patient, and I keep working, that I will achieve what I want to. You know what I wonder? Wonder if my head is too low. think. Okay, I'm going to step back for a minute. There was something that was bothering me, but I think that's it. Excuse me. Oh. All right, we have less than 10 minutes left, but what I noticed, I stepped back for a minute just to look. I added this band of brown at the top. Notice how much lower the head was before I did that. I think my head was too low because it looked really weird. Like it was coming in here, and then there wasn't enough space between this eye, and it didn't look, correct. The other thing I'm noticing that's off, look how low the ear comes here on the reference, and my ear is way up here. So I need to, the ear, her ear is actually much larger, and those are important. It's really important on her ear. So let's see if we can fix that in the next 10 minutes before we wrap this evening. And I'll keep working on her because she's so cute, and I really want her to turn out decent. So I need to find more time to paint because I start these, and then unless I finish them during the week, they start piling up. So, well, let's see. She needs, let's just see if we can create the right shape. Then we can go back and put in, because she has, that is correct, and then hey, Natasha, thank you for stopping by. I am struggling with this one tonight, but I'm determined. Thanks so much, Bob G. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Enjoy a scotch for me. I think this is working. It's kind of ugly up in here, but get the point. Um, I wonder if I can now. Oh yeah, with the ear corrected and her head, the shape of her head is coming together much better for me. I just have to really hone this, but the actual shape of her head and her ears is improving. I hope. At least that's my my feeling about it. What do y'all say? Anything? Am I way off? Let's see what we can do with this. Last few minutes here. If we can improve this background. I really want those. Whoops. I just put my hand right in it, didn't I? The nose needs to be bigger. Ah, good call. You're absolutely right. Yes, 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 yes. I don't know if I'm making this better or worse, but I'm. Ooh, I'm making it worse. I am running out of space. All right, y'all. I am gonna call it a night. I need to fix a lot of this, but little by little, this is probably the worst, most unfinished painting I've done. But let's, yeah, it looks much better at that distance, doesn't it? Here, let me. Looks much better at a long distance away. But I think I'm going to call it an evening. Um, it's the most unfinished painting I think I've done, and that doesn't feel good, but I'm trying to fight my perfectionist tendencies. So, um, yeah, that's the deal. But I have enjoyed the process. I've enjoyed having you all here this evening, joining me for the live stream. I will continue to work on this one. I will post it as I finish over on Instagram, so be sure to follow me there. It's been a pleasure having you on the live stream this evening. Be sure to follow on YouTube if you're not already. You can set notifications for all of the future live streams coming at 7 p.m. Central Time Saturday evening. 7 p.m. Central on Saturday. I appreciate each of you joining. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week on the live stream.